Hey guys, Gary here. Thanks for watching. So, quick video today. I'm going to talk about my Midwest Industries MI10, my 308, that I've affectionately named Mephistopheles because, like, good guns need good names. But getting ready to do a video where about painting guns, and it's the only gun I have that isn't painted, so that will be the gun that gets the paint job. However, I haven't yet done a video on the actual gun itself. I haven't shot it as much as some of my other rifles because Spell 308 costs more, and I wasn't sure what purpose the rifle was going to serve. When I got it, I had a red dot on it for a minute, and then ended up putting a 1-4 on it, and then a 1-8. Went back and tried hollow sun for a little bit during the hollow sun test, but I wasn't sure. Like, I had it kind of set up as a battle rifle. Although it had a Criterion match grade barrel on it, which you would think would be for precision work, my thought was maybe like a battle rifle setup, and I ran it through a battle rifle class back in the RTG days. Their one-day battle rifle class was not friendly to like AR-10 style guns, unlike G3s and FALs and SCARs and all those traditional battle rifles. 308 ARs sometimes struggle to make it through like a 500 round one-day class. But my MI10 did, and it worked fine. But as I shot it and used it, changed a couple of things, I decided I wanted to make it more of a precision setup than necessarily a battle rifle. Because if I was going into a battle, I would bring a 5.56 gun most likely anyway. So I decided to take this caliber's advantages and maximize the gun to those advantages, which is longer range precision stuff. So let's take a look at the gun and we'll talk about it end to end. Alright, so here it is. It is not stock any longer, although I will explain where the changes have come from. So the big change, two big things changes I made, and one of them certainly puts it in a different category as far as I'm going to use it, is I changed out the low power variable optic for a 4-14. And strangely enough, like, I was looking at a couple different loopholes and eyeballed some Night Force that my wallet said, I don't think so. But I just had got to a point where I wanted to try out a bunch of primary arms stuff, hence the hat. Hat came with the optic, I think, or maybe it didn't. I don't remember. But I was like, well, let's see, what budget glass can do. And it's a 4-14 with the R Grid 2 reticle. It is in a Midwest Industries quick release mount, the one with like it really puts it far forward. I threw caps and a sunshade on it because I always thought sunshades looked awesome, and so for the extra like $9, I just screwed that on the end. The whole optic, it's like a $300 optic, and surprisingly, it's a lot better than I thought a $300 optic should be. But that kind of took it out of using it as a battle rifle and put it more into a precision gun, because the lowest it'll go to is 4 power. So anyhow, I added that to the top. The things I changed on it are over here at ass end. It came with a some sort of Magpul stock, SL maybe, I don't remember, but it has a wider cheek weld area, and I felt like I had to roll the gun to get the optic in front of my eye because the cheek weld was wider. I like a real narrow stock against my cheek. The CTR is just my absolute favorite stock ever made, so it was a no-brainer to throw that on there. I swapped the Mo grip out for the Mo SL to fit my little girly hands. Those I did rather early on. Later on, I got a bunch of stuff from Ballistic Advantage to try out, so I got one of their barrels. It's not a Hansen profile. It is fluted though, so it reduced like 7 ounces off the weight of the Criterion match grade barrel, and is equally as accurate as the Criterion was, i.e. they both are more accurate than this guy is at shooting. So those are the big things I changed. There is a flash hider on the end of the barrel because serious guns should not have muzzle brakes, they should have flash hiders. So then it came down to setting the gun up for what I wanted. The way it comes, there are no sights on it, so I put sights that I had here on it. It wasn't necessarily like I ran out and bought them. There was a Knight's Armor 600 meter rear sight in the back, and the older alloy Midwest Industries front sight. So those are backups if the optic has to come off. Those are zeroed at 100 yards. The optic is zeroed at 100 yards because that's what the book that comes with the optic says to zero it at, so that you can use the reticle accordingly. There's a Radian charging handle, big ambi wide thing. There's not a lot of options for 308 charging handles. This one seems to work great, so I'm good using it. There is a Elftman trigger in here. In fact, I did a video somewhere, maybe I'll link to it, on that trigger, and it worked great. It ended up in this rifle. It is adjustable, so if I ever want to adjust it, but I don't necessarily think that I need to. This is the Neo Mag strap, holds the sling in place. It is a Blue Force Gear padded Vicker sling, because the rifle's not super light like a 5.56 gun, so the padding makes it easier to carry. Although I have to admit, not necessarily a fan of carrying this gun around with a sling. I'm a big fan of shooting off of barricades and or shooting bags or throwing a backpack, rucksack down and that kind of thing. But sometimes those aren't available. So over here on the front end, I threw the super inexpensive Magpul bipod on it, and it is on a kinetic development group, like quick release. I don't even know what they call their little adapters with the little doobers that click on, click off. There's also a True North grip stop on it. That's great for the barricade shooting. The bipod, I have to admit, it's only there for if I don't have a bag to throw it on. So this rifle, a little longer than like a 60-second sticks type setup, although I might do one of those in the future. I have sugar cookied the rail just to see how well that worked, and it seems to work okay. But I wanted to get a video out where you could physically see the parts of the rifle prior to the spray painting, which hopefully, if it works, will camouflage the rifle and make it harder to figure out exactly where all the lines and whatnot are. I do only use Magpul 20 round PMags. A 25 rounder is taller than I like. I did one class with this rifle at 25 rounders. Wasn't a big fan. But so the 20 rounder, way to go. And that is the Mephistopheles, my 308. And now this video is out of the way, I can get into cutting some stencils out and picking up some Krylon, making this whole thing camouflage so it looks cool. Thanks for checking it out. If you got any questions, go find me on the socials and I'll answer them as best I can. Not going to do comments here because YouTube comment section is a dumpster fire and I refuse to participate. So with that, you all take it easy and I'll see you later. Flash hider. It is a 4-prong flash hider. I can't even remember who makes it. It might be garbage, not sure. I could probably dig back and figure it out. I like the multi-prong flash hiders. I'd really like to get that Knight's Armament one, but I'm not spending $200 fucking on a flash hider. Just not happening at all, ever.